Hi there. In my book, Divine Mercy in a Woman's Life, Milestones Along the Way, I talk about a lot of issues that affect women, lots of stuff we go through, ways to get through it, with the help of Saint Faustina as our guide. And she learned from Jesus himself and the Blessed Mother. So I wanted to maybe speak today about overcoming guilt. So that would be, let's see what chapter that's in. That's in chapter 11. So I'll just read a little excerpt of this topic. Okay. So I say that a parasite sits upon our shoulders, right? Sucking the life out of us, and it's called guilt. Women often feel guilty, and the weight of that guilt can cause severe problems. Quite often, women are raised with some sort of guilt. I know a young mother who, when buying her little son a new pair of shoes, was made to feel guilty by her own mother, who had lived through the Great Depression. It's tough enough to raise a family, but when a young mother is made to feel guilty by her own mother for providing for them, well, that is hard as well as perplexing. Many things can combine and can contribute to crippling pangs of guilt. Certainly, guilt can be a good thing too, right? Especially when it's tugging at your conscience because of a need to make amends. However, I believe that women tend to feel guilty even when they're not at fault. And that's a problem because we women are meant to lead vibrant and joyful lives in service of our Lord and others. Add excessive guilt to the picture, and that most likely won't happen. Guilt can wrap us in chains. You know what? I'm going to tell you about St. Faustina. St. Faustina struggled with guilt too. Did you know that? One time, she poured her heart out to Jesus, telling him she was sorry that she didn't pay enough attention to him one particular day. She had been inundated with many people seeking her undivided attention during her visit home to her family, and she later wrote in her diary, "When I entered the chapel to say good night to the Lord before retiring and apologized for having talked so little to him when I was at home, I heard a voice within my soul. I am very pleased that you had not been talking with me." This is what Jesus said to her. "But were making my goodness known to souls and rousing them to love me." Now, if you want to find that, that's in the diary number 404. I'll just read just a little bit more about this problem we have with guilt. Okay, so we too can learn from this that we should not feel guilty when spending necessary time with or tending to our loved ones and those in our care. We should know that our dear Lord knows everything about us, including every demand, every need, and every pull on our attention. He wants us to serve those whom He gives us to serve, those in our midst, and those who call upon us for help, if we're able. I often tell young mothers that it would be wrong to abruptly stop caring for their children in order to kneel down and start praying to fulfill a particular prayer practice. Lovingly taking care of people in our lives is a prayer. It's an active prayer. However, we need to try our best to reschedule our praying times when they get rearranged by life and not to neglect prayer. Jesus also wants us to carve out time for conversations with Him whenever we're able. We need to remain in the state of grace and pray at every opportunity. We lift our hearts to Him. Our lives can become a living prayer to our Lord. Learning to overcome guilt and finding true balance in our love of God and neighbor will free us to live the life we are meant for. So these are some words to ponder when you get a chance, maybe now, maybe later. A little bit later or sometime soon, I'm going to read an excerpt that comes next in this chapter, and it's about forgiveness. That's something we all need to learn about. Forgiveness is kind of a tough pill to swallow, but it's something we all need in our lives, right? I think especially women. So I hope you enjoyed that excerpt from my book, Divine Mercy in a Woman's Life, Milestones Along the Way, which you can get at my website, by the way, www.donnacooperoboyle.com. You can get your autographed copy there. So stay well, keep praying, and until we see each other again, God bless you. Bye now.